Okay, so today we have Morrissey, Dial a Cliché from Viva Hate. And this is a 2011 remaster in case there's any difference. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to get into this and yeah, from Viva Hate from 1988. And I don't know, I always enjoy going back, especially to his debut album, just because the Smiths just ended and all that stuff. And yeah, so it's always nice to hear another song from that era. So let's get into it, talk about it after, and let's just go.
The fog I fall, well, I was just following you. When you said, do as I do and scrap your fade ways, dial a cliche. Grow up, be a man and close your mealy mouth. And you find that you've organized your feelings for people who didn't like you then and do not like you now. But still you say, do as I do and scrap your fadeways. Dial a cliche. Grow up, be a man and close your mealy mouth. Dial a cliche. The safe way is the only way. There's always time to change some. I've changed but I'm in pain. Dial a cliche.
Well, Dial a Cliché by Morrissey. So yeah, that was only 2.5 minutes long, so it wasn't that long of a song, excuse me. But yeah, okay, so I have to say at the top, very beautiful, I have to say. Beautiful voice, heaviness in his voice, I could hear it. I really enjoyed his, I don't even know how I would explain it, but his voice is just, it's just like, there's a lot of, I guess, emotion in his vocals, it sounds like. It sounds like he's talking to a certain somebody, and, you know, whether it's like somebody in his life, whether it's like a parent almost, maybe like a father perhaps or something figure, I don't know. But, you know, because he's talking about, you know, when you said, do as I do and scrap your fey ways and grow up, be a man and close your mealy mouth and dial a cliche. Yeah, so it's just like, I guess, you know, what I'm getting from this, you know, just to say off the top what I think he's talking about or whatever, you know, just, I guess, change who you are or whatever, being changed into someone you're not, but you're being told to be or whatever. And this is kind of, and you know, this is what happens when that happens, kind of a thing. Because then I like, I know I'm kind of jumping around here because, you know, just to talk about what he's going on about, but with the third verse, you know, when he says, but the person underneath, where does he go? Does he slide by the wayside or does he just die? So I guess like, without even, you know, talking or getting into annotations here from genius.com about the song, but, you know, when you change into somebody else, or I guess for somebody or whatever, and it's not really you, I guess, kind of like, where does the real you go that's underneath? Is like, does he just die? Does it go by the wayside? And it's like, that's a good question. And that's what I thought when I heard that. But again, and also loved the I would say, I guess, tambourine, I guess, that was in there, that was, you know, being, you know, tapped every like second. But also I guess there's, because also I'm seeing the personnel, of course, from Viva Hate, And there was a cello, some violins and such, and I feel like there was those instruments in the song, although I can't find the personnel for the song, only just from the album. But just really enjoyed, a lot of it. Was just a beautiful song altogether, and musically and lyrically. And I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, my God. And again, March 14th, 1988, release date for Viva Hate, just 6 months after the last album by the Smiths, Strange Ways, Here We Come. And yeah, so Morrissey was back on his horse. But anyway, so yeah, and again, his voice is just so young, of course. He just still sounds so clear. And yeah, anyway, I really enjoy it. And I just like, Dial a Cliche. I don't know, I just like that as I guess, a title and as a kind of chorus or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, there is an about on Genius here, like I usually do, just to read. So it says a song that encompasses the assertive voice of his father. So yeah, okay, so it was his father. I didn't see this, so I'm not, because I did say earlier his father, but I swear I didn't see the about or whatever. It just sounded like he might have been talking about his father. Anyway, but again, this is all interpretation, so this person might be wrong. But anyway, the assertive voice of his father. Again, I've never heard about his father. I can't think about off the top of my head if he must have talked about his father in another song, perhaps, but I just forget. Anyway, Morrissey rallies against the cliche ideas of manliness by mocking phrases such as "grow up, be a man, and close your mealy mouth." And when he says, close your mealy mouth, I mean, I guess he's also, not just because, don't eat with your mouth open or something, but I'm also, just because, Morrissey, he's always had a lot to say. And also, I mean, not even just that, but I mean, a manly man doesn't sing the way Morrissey sings. If there's that kind of a thought or whatever as well out there, I guess, especially back in the 70s and 80s, perhaps. And I mean, Morrissey is not even, you think of somebody like Freddie Mercury, who was, I mean, I guess if Morrissey's like a fey man or whatever, what the heck, how fey is Freddie Mercury to a person that thinks like this? Anyway, but yeah, anyway, there are some annotations, like I said, which I do want to go over. So yeah, with the second verse, actually, because there's nothing for the first verse, but when you said, do as I do and scrap your fey ways, dial a cliche, and then, like I already said, grow up, be a man, close your mealy mouth. It says, these are both variations on suggesting that the subject is gay. Fey and be a man were clear imputations in the 70s and 80s. So yeah, again, just like I said already about, be a man. It's all this stuff. Be a man. That is just a weird sentence on its own. I mean, if you ever just think about it. Anyway, the third verse, but the person underneath, where does he go? So this is what I already, talked about. If it's just like, okay, well, I'll be a man, I'll change myself to somebody I'm not. It's like, what happens to the real me? So then it does say here, Morrissey asks what happens to the true person inside when a boy dons a facade to fit in and conform to society and kills his true self. And then it goes on, this pertains not only to sexuality, as is cited in the above annotation, but perhaps more importantly to a man or boy's individuality and creative potential being stifled by fear of not fitting in. And I mean, again, it's just this whole thing, which I know, Morrissey, I mean, especially, well, I mean, there's people who then like the Smiths or whatever, because it's not their kind of music or whatever, from the 80s or now or whoever it is. But anyway, obviously Morrissey, he's like I always say, he's his true self, which I always like, which is like cool, because again, with this, song here, which is a perfect example of him, saying, what happens to your true self, just kind of mocking these people who say, or these manly men really, who say like, yeah, change who you are, kind of a thing, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, be like me, be like your father, whatever. And it's just like, I just like the Morrissey's, kind of mocking that, and just pretty much saying, be your true self, and which is how you should be, unless, your true self is like being somebody like Ted Bundy or something, in which case you probably shouldn't be like that. But anyway, the last verse here, verse 5, we have, the safe way is the only way. There's always time to change, son. So that's kind of like, I guess, because that's in quotes, so it's like kind of something I guess maybe his father said. And this is, I've changed, but I'm in pain. And that line, that just hurts, man. And the dialogue cliche. Yeah, but there is one more annotation for that. So it says, the narrator has followed his father's advice to his own detriment denying his selfhood is causing him emotional turmoil. My goodness. So yeah, again, I'm still sick, and yeah, so it's still a little bit of a struggle, but yeah, yeah. So I've changed, but I'm in pain. Just that last, well, it wasn't the last line because Dial Cliche is the last line, but yeah, it's just that's pretty much sums it all up. And I guess, I was gonna say I would like to know if Morrissey ever, changed himself. Obviously, he didn't really change himself in the long run because he kind of just stayed the same as who he was. But I wonder if, like, growing up, again, because, it's saying that this is kind of at his father, and I don't know much about Morrissey's father. But I wonder if he ever kind of tried to conform or fit in like his dad wanted him to or whatever. Because again, I mean, you look at Morrissey in like like the 80s, with that pompadour or whatever. I mean, not even, I mean, he had it longer, I think, than just the 80s, but whatever. But again, just kind of maybe, what people would find as feminine, whatever attributes that he had. I don't know. I mean, good looking guy, obviously, could have that high voice that maybe some people would find not masculine or whatever. And so yeah, I just like that he's going at them with this song. Kind of reminds me of the reaction I did before to, what was it? Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. But again, which is another kind of controversial song for, some lyricism in that. But just the message in that of the whole thing where there's the people standing around making fun of the people on MTV who look, I guess, fey or whatever it says in the song. Especially a lot of bands from that era, like I said in that video, had a lot of people coming over, especially in the British invasion, the second British invasion, with guys like Wham, Depeche Mode, Billy Idol, all these guys that were, they looked different, and and they didn't look masculine, whatever. They didn't have whatever, I don't know, however you determine who a masculine guy looks like. But yeah, and I just really enjoy when, I guess, singers, artists, whatever, go at that kind of that weird I get that weird system or whatever. It's just like where it's just like the whole masculine thing is kind of being taken down. So obviously Morrissey was doing that here. And yeah, this was also, it says this was the I think the second to last track on the album, Viva Hate, and the last one was Margaret on the Guillotine, which is, of course, a song I love. Anyway, I guess that's all I gotta really say. I mean, again, the song was only 2.5 minutes, but somehow this video was turned into almost 13 minutes. So anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say for this Morrissey Friday. Really enjoyed the song. More than the song, I really enjoyed the message, which I guess I didn't really talk about the instruments too much or whatever, but it was more just about the message for me, and about, talking about, do as I say, grow up and be a man, and how Morrissey's kind of mocking that, and I like it very much. So anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you guys. If you don't watch any videos until next Friday, I'll talk to you next Friday. But then again, I'll talk to you guys again soon, either way.